Hello and welcome back to yet another video that we are going to be organizing. Now, I don't even actually know what to call this. Soon enough it's going to be the area of which I keep all my makeup and like my special effects and stuff, but right now it's basically where I keep everything that isn't anywhere else in my room. So I'm not going to do a voiceover through the whole thing, just basically going back and forth between background music and telling you guys maybe tips and tricks of what I'm doing that may not be known to everybody. Anyways. Rule of thumb that I'm giving myself is if I've bought something over the past 6 months that I wanted to use for a photo shoot or a video shoot but kind of just had no really direction about it, I'm just going to be getting rid of it. I'm probably not going to if I haven't used it in the past 6 months, or if it's something I've made and am actually really proud of and I can put it somewhere in my room, either hanging up or just actually showcase it. As you will see, I do keep it. Other than that though, if I'm not super proud of it, like extremely proud, then I will just be giving it away or throwing it in the garbage. A little tidbit of information that I use is even if something can be used for organization, you do not need to keep it. There's always going to be more things that people can use for organization, but if you don't actually have a reason to use it at one specific time, you might as well give it to someone who maybe does, whether that's donating it or giving it to a friend, etc. I have found myself literally hoarding things used for organization. The irony of that. Definitely want to vacuum any carpeted areas because you don't know how much dust has been there. Now, as I said, this will one day house my entire makeup collection, hopefully. I hope I don't have to get any more organizers for this, but until then, I do want to organize it to the best of my abilities, especially because I am very homebound right now, so I do want to get as much done at my house as I possibly can in the time that I have. With that being said, I generally do like to start from the ground up, start from the bottom that we hear. My ground does have a lot of little things, because that's where I put things when I don't know what to do with them. I put them on the ground, or I put them on something just elevated above the ground. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I do that all the time. Little tip over here is if something is going to be collapsible, you should probably try to collapse it just to create more room if you don't have a large area. For example, this, I don't even know what it's called, but it's like a medical dripper thing that you like put the blood or the IV on and it drips down, and I do not need it, but I have it, so I'm going to collapse it. Remember when I talked about those things I'm very, very, very proud of? Well, this whole conjunction I have here is just riddled with them. Like that skull and a bunch of wigs and basically just props that I've made over the past years. This is where I store those because it's on display. So if anybody were to come into my room, which they don't, then they would see those almost right away. And I think that's just the coolest thing ever. Now I'm going to say something that's probably very obvious, but as I am going to be organizing a bunch of this stuff, I am going to want to clean it as I take everything out. And I'm just cleaning it with an all-purpose cleaner. You can use like a specific type of cleaner for whatever place you're using it for, but I just wanted to use an all-purpose because, well, it's for all purpose. It's for all services. Yep. As for things such as nail polish, I have way too many for someone that literally never paints their nails. I probably paint my nails like 2 to 3 times a year. So I will say for these ones, I let myself keep 1 to 2 of each color, depending on which amount of colors that I had. Like if I had 5 purples, I want to keep a light purple and a dark purple. But besides that, that's basically the entire collection that I went through, and I got rid of probably about 3/4 of it, which I'm really proud of. I also decided which ones I was keeping based on how badly they separated and if they had one of those little metal balls. Can we just take a moment and how far we've come in the holographic spectrum? Simply Neological is quaking in the worst way. Does anyone's still remember when Essence made it the tip painter. Don't even remember how I got this. Not even a clue. Mess no more. Didn't even realize this existed. As I said, there's a lot. I did clean out that little nook specifically so that I could move this entire bookshelf kind of display over, but it was a little bit too hard to do with all of the acrylic organizers on top of it, so I did want to move those off first. Not all of them, but just enough. As you can see me right down there. Tirelessly struggling. And since I decidedly took everything off, I decided, because it was perfect timing, I would continue to clean off all the surfaces, and one of them even still had the Value Village tag on them, so I decided to take that off too, with a very damp cloth and a little bit of time. As for deciding what to put in the actual display case, it'll probably end up moving around a little bit when I actually get around to actually organizing everything, but for now I just decided to put the mannequin heads in specific places and some of my book palettes that actually are like shaped as a book. There are a couple from Jeffree Star Cosmetics that are the same size and I wanted to prop one up, so I used a box from It's Likely Makeup and I just literally used that to prop one up so that it was a little bit more visible. It's obviously strictly for aesthetic purposes. You don't have to really do this if you're going to just organize. Some of the Bomb palettes, which I chose to put on display as well because they're actually really funny. Like one of them says Bon Voyage, and another one says Bon Jovi, and they're all the bomb, and they're very punny about that. And then obviously the palettes that are a little bit bigger are going to be on display because one, I can't fit them behind anything, and I can't fit them into the drawers, and two, they're incredibly aesthetically pleasing to look at. So here we are, until the time actually comes where I organize my makeup. We've got my highly downsized nail polish collection, my Carrie wig, complete with blood and a crown and all. Some special effects stuff I still have yet to go through that I will soon enough. My Billie Eilish wig, complete fully with all the so-called bubbles, quote unquote. A bunch of my Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson collaborations, some strictly Jeffree Star. One of my 13 ghosts, probably not a hard guess as to which one. And then a little bit further up is a bunch of stuff. It's both my skull candle, my Santa Claus, my Bad Santa mustache and beard, my spider eye prosthetic, and my American Horror Story one. And then I have my storybook cosmetic, which is all storybook cosmetics plus any other storybook type of palettes, and then my Jeffree Star stuff once again. And up. And then